Recently, about a month ago, I would say, Lighting Bliss did a review on the Season 8 episode Molt Down. Now, during this review, she mentioned something very interesting that I didn't even know about. Originally, back in the mid to going into the late 80s, between, I would say, 85, 86, and 87, 85 to 87, between that time frame, Hasbro was thinking about doing a sequel to either Rescue from Midnight Castle or My Little Pony the movie, the 1986 one. And I think it was the movie Lightning mentioned. I could be wrong. Anyway, it was during this review that Lightning brought up something again that was very interesting, that kind of surprised me a little bit. And what she brought up was the fact that in the proposed sequel that they were planning for, I think, the movie of 1986, the original idea, or one of the original concepts, was to age Spike. Was to age Spike up, have him grow, get a bit bigger, have him grow some wings, show that time had passed, or some time had passed. Unfortunately, the people at Hasbro at that time decided not to do it because they felt that a grown-up Spike, with wings and all that, a dragon, would be too scary for the young audience. And yet this is the same company that okayed the character design for the original T-Rex character in Rescue from Midnight Castle. Makes a lot of sense, huh? Makes a lot of sense. Anyway, the reason I bring this up, like I said, the reason I bring this up is when Lightning brought up the idea, brought that up about the fact that there was an original sequel planned to follow up on the My Little Pony movie, if not Rescue from Midnight Castle. But yet was not made the way they were hoping, but yet got condensed and turned into Escape from Katerina. It got me thinking when I heard about what Rainbow Road Trip was going to be based off of, the upcoming G4 special in the summer, Friendship is Magic special, and how it stemmed or was conceived from an original idea to do a sequel to the 2017 movie. It made me realize that once again, Hasbro doesn't have any faith in animated sequels to their animated motion pictures. I mean, think about it for a second, folks. Think about this for a second. Lightning Bliss brings up in her review that there were plans to do a follow-up, a sequel to the 1986 My Little Pony movie, but that never came to fruition. And whatever ideas were planned for that movie got turned into Escape from Katerina, the 44-minute special back at that time. Now you fast forward, hold on. Like I said, now you fast forward 33 years later, and you're kind of getting a similar situation, not once but twice. Because, like I said, from what I understand, Rainbow Road Trip is being conceived out of an original idea for a sequel, a motion picture sequel to My Little Pony the movie, the 2017 film. And what this proves to me, like I said, is it seems that Hasbro has no faith in animated motion pictures or animated sequels being successful as theatrical or direct-to-video or television motion pictures. I mean, I talked about this before, and I'll bring it up. In 1987, at the end of the third season of Transformers Generation 1, they decided to bring back Optimus Prime from the dead. Now, they teased it in an episode called Dark Awakening, which took place earlier in the season, or earlier in that season, but then decided to wrap up Season 3 by bringing him back. Now, what's interesting about that is when this two-part episode, this two-part Season 3 finale was released on VHS about a year or two later, the background or the back cover of the VHS stated at the very bottom that The Return of Optimus Prime was the long-awaited sequel to the Transformers movie back then of 1986. And I thought to myself when I saw that, I'm thinking, this is 44 minutes. How is it a sequel? But yet in the eyes of Family Home Entertainment and Hasbro, you know, it was a sequel. And even back then, it proved that Hasbro had no faith in doing direct follow-ups to the movies. Now, some might say, well, wasn't the end of Flooded Valley somewhat a sequel? Yeah, you could probably say that because it directly followed up on the movie. You can kind of say that, and that could count. But when I hear Lighting Bliss, who's one of the Riff Cafe members and analysis, Brony community analysis reviewers that I listen to and I'm subscribed to on YouTube, come out and say, with her vast knowledge, being an 80s child herself, with her vast knowledge of saying, you know, this was what was originally planned. Like I said, it just shows you that Hasbro just doesn't have any faith. It's like they're afraid to do a direct animated theatrical or direct-to-video or television motion picture sequel to any of the movies based on any of the properties. And what this does is it makes us wonder what could have been. What could have been in what came to be. Because like Lightning pointed out in her review, from what I understand, the idea that was originally pitched for that sequel got conceived and turned into the Escape from Katarina special. The same thing when you think about it, that's happening with Rainbow Road Trip. That whatever idea was originally conceived for a direct-to-video or straight-to-theaters or direct-to-television animated motion picture sequel to the 2017 film of MLP has now been conceived and turned into Rainbow Road Trip and somewhat maybe into parts of what's going to be the Equestria Girls Spring Breakdown special. So, yeah, it's kind of hard to, you know, realize that what we're getting in the summer and what we're getting at the end of this month, all probably parts of them at least, well, Rainbow Road Trip mostly, if not a whole lot, but and like I said, parts of maybe Spring Breakdown, all come from the fact that some of the ideas will probably, and like I said, mostly for Rainbow Road Trip and somewhat maybe for Spring Breakdown, come from the concept and idea of doing a follow-up movie to the 2017 film. But like I said, apparently this is not the first time that Hasbro has done this, because according to Lighting Bliss, they've done it before with My Little Pony. And being a fan of Transformers and seeing it with my own eyes and reading it, and you can Google it, having them declare or say at the end, at the bottom of the box, after you read the description of what you're going to be watching, them calling The Return of Optimus Prime the long-awaited sequel to Transformers the movie. So, yeah, Hasbro has a history of doing this, and you know what? I think Hasbro, if they're going to start focusing more on being into movies, especially if some of those movies could be animated, need to start giving sequels an opportunity to shine. And we're not just talking for the live action adaptations either. We're talking animated as well. So, but yeah, Hasbro is no stranger to this. And they need to stop worrying about the fact that maybe an animated sequel, theatrically, direct-to-video, or direct-to-television, motion picture-wise, will not succeed. They need to stop doing that and just let the ball roll and see what happens. So, that's all I'm going to really say on the matter, guys. Let me know what you all think down below. Watch Lighting Bliss's review of Molt Down to get more information about what she had to say about the proposed sequel that apparently turned into Escape from Katerina in her review of Molt Down. Check that out. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. So till next time, God bless, take care. I'm going to get back into work. Peace out.